Aurora Marie Chen was 19 years old and completely homeless. Her parents had died in a house fire when she was 16, a tragedy that destroyed everything she had ever known. She had been taken into foster care, but the system had failed her repeatedly. By 19, she had aged out of the system with nothing but a backpack, sleeping in shelters and on the streets, moving from city to city, searching for something she couldn't name. And then she found the listing for a rusted houseboat on the Mississippi River for $5. The houseboat was a disaster. A once beautiful vessel, it sat half-submerged in the murky waters of the Mississippi River near a small town in Missouri. The boat was covered in rust. The hull was corroded. The windows were broken. The interior was water-damaged and moldy. The boat had been abandoned for decades, its owner long dead, its purpose forgotten. The county wanted it gone. They were willing to sell it to anyone for $5 just to clear the liability from their records. Aurora had been working at a diner for minimum wage, saving every penny. She had exactly $5.32. She used $5 to buy the houseboat at the county auction online. A stranger helped her navigate the paperwork. She received the deed in the mail 2 weeks later. When she first walked onto the boat, her shoes made squelching sounds on the waterlogged deck. The smell was overwhelming: rust, mold, decay, and stagnant water. But as she climbed inside, carefully avoiding holes in the floor, something shifted in her chest. This was hers. A place that belonged entirely to her. No matter how broken it was home. The houseboat had been built in 1962 by a man named Captain James Mitchell, who had worked as a riverboat captain on the Mississippi for over 40 years. The captain had lived on this boat, traveled the river, loved the water. According to the records Aurora found, Captain James had died in 1998, and no one had claimed the boat. It had sat deteriorating ever since. Aurora began exploring the boat carefully. The main cabin had a small kitchen area, now rusted and unusable. There was a bedroom with a bed frame, the mattress long rotted away. There was a bathroom with fixtures corroded beyond recognition. But there was also a captain's quarters, a small room at the bow of the boat with windows facing the river. The windows were broken, but from this room, you could still see the Mississippi River spreading out endlessly before you. It was in the captain's quarters that Aurora found the safe. It was built into the wall, hidden behind a rotted wooden panel. The safe was a heavy metal box, probably 100 pounds, rusted on the outside but seemingly intact. Aurora's heart raced. She tried to open it, but it was locked. She spent days trying to figure out how to get it open without destroying it. She researched online. She called a locksmith who quoted her $300, money she didn't have. Finally, she found a man at the marina who knew about old safes. He came to look at it, examined it carefully, and said he might be able to open it without damage. He worked for 3 hours, using tools and techniques she didn't understand. Finally, the safe clicked open. Inside were canvas bags. Aurora's hands trembled as she opened them. The first bag contained gold coins. United States gold coins from the 1800s and early 1900s. Rare coins. Valuable coins. The second bag contained more coins. The third bag held cash. Old paper money, carefully preserved in plastic sleeves. $2,000 in cash from the 1970s. Aurora sat on the floor of the captain's quarters and wept. She called a coin dealer in St. Louis. The man came to examine the collection. He spent hours cataloging each coin, checking values, consulting price guides. When he finished, he told her the coins were worth approximately $35,000. The old cash was worth $2,000. Total value, $37,000. Captain James Mitchell had hidden his entire life savings in that safe, waiting for someone to find it. Aurora learned that Captain James had never married, had no children, had no family who cared about him. He had spent his life traveling the Mississippi River, collecting rare coins, saving his money. And when he died, he left it all behind, sealed in a safe, waiting. She did not sell the coins immediately. Instead, she spent the next 3 months restoring the houseboat. She hired workers to repair the hull, to fix the plumbing, to replace the windows. She cleaned every surface. She treated the mold. She replaced the carpet and the fixtures. She painted the exterior of the boat a beautiful deep blue, and she created a memorial to Captain James Mitchell. She commissioned a bronze plaque that she mounted in the captain's quarters. It read, "Captain James Mitchell, 1925 to 1998. A man who loved the Mississippi River and believed that saving something beautiful was the most important work a person could do. Aurora enrolled in college, using some of the money to pay for tuition. She studied marine biology and river ecology. She became passionate about the health of the Mississippi River, the navigation systems that kept it alive, the history of river commerce. She established a scholarship fund in Captain James Mitchell's name, giving money to young people who wanted to study river systems and environmental protection. She donated coins to museums so that Captain James's collection could be studied and appreciated rather than locked away and forgotten. Aurora is now 24 years old. She lives on the houseboat with her partner, a woman she met in college. Together they have turned the boat into a teaching space, where students come to learn about river ecology and history. The boat has become a symbol of transformation, from rusted decay to beautiful restoration, from lost to found, from broken to whole. Every morning, Aurora stands in the captain's quarters and looks out at the Mississippi River. She thinks about Captain James, about the life he lived on this river, about the love he had for it, about the gift he left behind. She understands that sometimes, the greatest treasures are not just material. Sometimes they are messages from people we will never meet, telling us that we are worthy of rescue, that we matter, that someone believed in a future they would never see. Aurora Marie Chen was 19 years old and homeless when she bought a rusted houseboat for $5. It was the best $5 she ever spent. Because what she found there was not just gold coins and cash. She found proof that broken things can be restored. That forgotten people can be remembered. That sometimes, a homeless girl can become a river advocate simply by inheriting a captain's love for the water. She found home on the Mississippi River, in a boat that Captain James Mitchell had loved, in a place where a man from another era had left her a gift that would change everything. That if you believe that we are all connected across time by love and generosity, subscribe to this channel.